The fabric of space rippled as a cosmic shadow stretched across the Andromeda cluster. Stars flickered as if gasping for breath, and ancient celestial systems fell into a dreadful silence. The Devourer of Worlds had awakened once more. Galactus, neither god nor demon but something older, something inevitable, descended upon the galaxy with a hunger so vast that reality seemed to recoil in anticipation. He moved like a celestial force of nature, his titanic form cloaked in the subtle hum of universal laws unraveling. A massive world ship, the Tar-2, loomed behind him, more massive than entire solar systems, brimming with impossible energies. His hunger had become unbearable, and this time he sought more than sustenance. He sought the stabilizing anchor that could calm the erratic rhythm of his cosmic hunger. He sought Earth, but Earth was not the vulnerable blue marble it once was. In the aftermath of several multiversal incursions and cosmic realignments, a new protector had risen from within, a being of light and darkness, of hope and annihilation, a man with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, a man known only as Sentry. Deep in the Earth's stratosphere, Reed Richards' sensors blared with a red warning no one had seen in centuries. Not since the last incursion had the sensors picked up this kind of energy signature, an unfathomable mass consuming. Gravimetric fields, bending time-space geometries, and emitting the frequencies of cosmic entropy. There was no doubt Galactus was coming. Reed activated the global distress beacon. The Avengers, the X-Men, Wakandan Royal Guard, even the magical orders of Kamartaj and Avalon responded, but all eyes turned toward one singular man, floating high above Earth's atmosphere, cloaked in gold and crackling with unstable energy. Robert Reynolds, the Sentry. "You know what this means?" Reed's voice crackled through the communicator. "If he consumes Earth, everything changes. We need you, now more than ever." Sentry remained silent, gazing upward. His golden eyes pierced the stars, already sensing the oncoming presence. But inside him, something stirred. The void, the dark counterpart to his radiance, whispered with seductive promise. "Let him come," the void cooed. "Let Galactus break you, and when you fall, I will rise." Sentry clenched his fists, struggling to maintain composure. He had always been on the edge of salvation and destruction, but this time he would not falter. He launched himself upward like a cannonball of starlight, ripping through the atmosphere and heading straight toward the oncoming threat. Galactus stood in the void above Earth, his size dwarfing the moon. His presence alone made the skies bleed violet and the oceans quake. A portal of swirling energy formed at his feet, and through it came remnants of his previous heralds, constructs made of power cosmic, silver echoes of the Silver Surfer, Nova Terrax. They moved with one command: prepare the planet for consumption. As cities around the globe fell into chaos, Sentry soared between dimensions, emerging just in front of Galactus, with a thunderous shockwave that shattered the clouds of Saturn. "You will not touch this planet!" Sentry boomed, his voice vibrating the strings of nearby reality. Turn back, or face destruction. Galactus tilted his colossal head, his eyes like dying stars, gazing down at a being that burned with intense power. "I have consumed worlds with gods mightier than you. You are no threat to me." The Sentry's aura blazed like a miniature sun, his power flaring as he began to tear through Galactus's herald constructs with atomic ease. Each move was calculated, restrained, but the void within him cackled. "Unleash me. Let me erase him. You know you want to." "No," Sentry muttered. "This is my fight." Galactus lifted his hand, and a tidal wave of cosmic force blasted forth. It wasn't merely energy, it was unbeing, a force that reduced existence to raw essence. Sentry held his ground, absorbing the force into himself, his form beginning to shimmer with instability. He hurled himself at Galactus, his fists detonating on the Titan's armor with concussive bursts that could rupture neutron stars. Each blow echoed across the solar system, shattering asteroids and rerouting comets. Galactus groaned, a rare chilling sound. He raised his other hand, calling upon the power cosmic to materialize a gravity well at the heart of Sentry's core. For a split second, Sentry convulsed, his very atoms pulled toward inversion. But then the void surged within him. With a terrifying scream, half of Sentry's golden light dimmed, his eyes becoming hollow voids. The balance was shifting. His inner darkness clawed at the surface. "I said, stay down!" Sentry roared, now wrapped in an unstable storm of both radiant light and jet-black shadows. His body twisted in the energy, as if the laws of physics couldn't agree on his form. He struck again, and this time Galactus was thrown back. Across the planet, instruments failed to measure the scale of the cosmic conflict. Astronomers stared into telescopes and wept. Civilians looked up and saw only golden and violet flashes of divine warfare streaking the skies. Magic users felt their spells unraveling. Even the Watcher, Watu, appeared silently on the moon, solemnly observing. Doctor Strange stood beside the Black Panther and Thor atop the Sanctum Sanctorum. "He's fighting more than Galactus," Strange said gravely. "He's fighting himself. And if the Void wins, we won't have to worry about Galactus anymore." Thor's knuckles whitened around Mjolnir. "If it comes to it, I will strike him down myself." "No," said T'Challa. "If it comes to that, we all will." Back in space, Sentry floated bruised but unbowed. Galactus had summoned the full torrent of the power cosmic. Reality quaked under their duel. Suns flickered, moons shattered. "You are powerful," Galactus admitted, "but unstable. You are a storm that devours itself. You are not balance. You are not sustenance. You are chaos." Sentry gritted his teeth. "I am everything. I'm hope. I'm fear." He looked down at Earth, flashes of memories, his wife, the Avengers, his struggle for sanity. Then a whisper. "You are me." The void surged. Sentry let out a scream that split the stars, and then he stopped. In that silence he began to change. His form doubled, then split, one of radiant gold, the other pure darkness. The Sentry and the Void, standing side by side. Galactus narrowed his gaze. "A new equation," he said. Galactus hovered above the shattered remnants of the moon, his eyes glowing with the eerie, ancient light of the power cosmic. Before him floated Robert Reynolds, no longer fully man, no longer entirely God, caught between the radiant fury of the Sentry and the abyssal hunger of the Void. The power inside Reynolds surged violently. Light clashed with darkness, hope with despair, creation with ruin. With a guttural roar that echoed across dimensions, Sentry unleashed his final transformation. He became Requiem, a fusion of man, god, and monster. One side burned with golden brilliance, the other bled shadows that devoured starlight. Reality bent around his form. The multiverse felt it, a chaotic anomaly born of fractured perfection. Galactus, unmoved, spoke with the voice of a collapsing galaxy. "I am necessity. I am balance. I am the scale upon which gods are weighed. You are a fracture." Requiem hurled forward a comet of pure paradox. His first blow cracked Galactus's armor, a rare feat. The second tore across the Devourer's shoulder, searing divine blood across space. For a heartbeat it seemed Requiem could win. But Galactus did not stagger. Instead he raised his hand, and time halted. Galactus whispered a word no mortal could hear. Reality obeyed. The stars dimmed. Time reversed in a burst, undoing Requiem's momentum, reverting his last strike before it ever landed. And then Galactus unleashed. A beam of power cosmic surged from his eyes, not of heat or energy, but of law unmaking things that should not be. It struck Requiem mid-flight. The hybrid screamed as parts of his form began to disintegrate on a conceptual level. "You exist as error," Galactus declared, "and I do not tolerate errors." He opened his palm. From within, a sphere of swirling essence formed, a cosmic singularity, the compressed power of 1,000 consumed civilizations, bound by will and forged to punish the defiant. Galactus launched it. The singularity struck Requiem and detonated. The explosion was silent, yet every planet in the solar system shook. Across the stars, watchers turned their gaze. Eternity blinked. The living tribunal stirred. When the light faded, Requiem drifted, shredded, broken, unraveling like a dying star. The void half of him tried to cling to existence, whispering in dark tongues, lashing out in desperate entropy. But Galactus extended a finger and whispered a second word. The void screamed and ceased. No explosion, no drama, just unbeing. The Sentry half fell limp, his golden glow flickering like a dying candle. Galactus loomed over him. "You were mighty, mortal," he intoned, his voice now soft, almost contemplative. "But you were born of instability, a failed experiment, a storm without direction." He raised his hand a final time and consumed Robert Reynolds' cosmic essence, not for hunger but for finality. The body disintegrated. On Earth, the sky turned red for a brief instant. Stephen Strange dropped to his knees. "It's over," he whispered. Reed Richards simply bowed his head. Thor clenched his fist, but knew there was no vengeance to be taken against Galactus. Not now, not ever. Galactus turned from the battle's remains, not triumphant, not boastful, only eternal. "There is no shame in resistance," he murmured into the void. "But there is consequence in defiance." With a gesture, he summoned his worldship. The cosmic winds bowed before him, and he left, not in retreat but in silence. Judgment had been delivered. Behind him, the stars realigned. The golden god was gone. The Devourer endured.